maybe up in the trees, maybe something a little bit more, I don't know, mysterious looking. Right, I've spotted some trees, so we've come off the path now and we're heading up into the woodland a bit. You can see these trees up there? That's the kind of thing I'm looking for. Something a little bit different, something a bit more, as I call it, Thomas Heaton. And you all know why. If you do watch him, he's one of our biggest British landscapers on YouTube. And he does these nice little abstract shots. His recent video, which is recent now, but it won't be recent when you're watching this, he took a nice little tree. And that's the kind of thing I'm looking for. I've taken a few before, it's not out of my nature to do it, but I'm just inspired by watching his video yesterday. So that's my plan. I'm going to walk up now, get on this pathway. There's a little pathway just here, so I can get through the woods. We've just got to watch mountain bikes, because mountain bikes come flying through here. And look at that. How's that for a view down there? So I think we'll be getting a shot of that as well. Maybe with this big orange tree in. But yeah, it's turning out quite a nice day. But yeah, I want something like that tree up there on its own with a nice dark background, and I'm going to find one. I will promise you that. I'm going to have something. Even if it's not a masterpiece, I'm going to have something. But just while I'm stood here and stopping sweating and catching my breath, I'm going to take a shot of that, because I think it's too beautiful not to. Before I head up to them trees, which are only just behind me, or there's a few scattered ones up there, I stopped to take a picture of this. I've just taken one down there, a horizontal one, which you've just seen. But I've just as I walked up here, I just liked the view through them two trees. Those two trees picture frame that view, and I really quite like it. Again, I'm bracketing the shot, 5 exposures. I'm at f11. I didn't have my 2-second timer on, so I'm going to put my 2-second timer on to make sure that I don't mess it up. I'm going to focus on the bracken, which is just down by the trunk of that tree there. The bracken's all nice and brown. 2-second timer at f11, so we should have a nice depth of field in the image. And amazing cloud definition. I'm going to spin the polarizer just to see if it makes any difference whatsoever. And it doesn't really. There's not enough light to do any difference with the polarizer, so I'm not too worried about it. There's a little bit of light right over there on the distance, right at the top there, which is quite nice. There is soft light coming across. I mean, you can see behind the hills there is soft light all the way through. But I just love the way that those two trees absolutely frame the image in between. So I'm going to try, I might actually just move it up or even go a bit wider. Can I go a little bit wider, just get a bit more tree? And I'm just going to try moving it up slightly, just to, it's not perfect to the fact that, let's get it level. There we go, get it level, make sure everything's tight. It's not perfect because I've got the tree on that side there, where are we there, just encroaching into the image, but it's okay, I'm happy with it. So again, I'm going to focus on the bracken just to make sure. 2-second timer, it's giving me 20th of a second, but the time's kind of irrelevant. The light on the water down there, the light on the water is leading you through the valley, and yeah, it's quite a pretty image. And like I say, it's cloaked in the trees, it's just a picture frame image in a picture frame. Quite nice, that one. Yeah, very different. Not my sort of thing that I'd normally take, but I just like it. You can see right in front of you there, this perfect frame for that little view in the middle. Cool. Right, this video is probably getting longer, and I need my bit of artistic flair, so I'm going to get up there and see if I can find one. So I hope you can appreciate how hard it is to actually work one-handed. I've actually put you down now. I've got my little mini tripod, and I'm just taking my camera off its L bracket, so I was sitting vertical. And because this lens, I put the bigger lens on, it's got its own mount on the bottom, it makes the camera more stable. So I'll drop that on like so, and now the tripod's balanced off the top of the lens, or the middle of the lens, so the so the camera is a lot more stable. I'm now going to flick it back into vertical by just spinning the camera around on its axis like so. The reason I put this bigger lens on is I found myself a tree. Now I've just shot the tree, excuse me, I just shot the tree from the other side over that side. And it kind of looks all right, but I was half guessing. I was up high and looking down on it, and it was sort of guessing, and I wanted something a bit different. And in all fairness, now I've put this lens on and I've literally just switched it on to live view now, I'm still not convinced that's the shot. Now I'm going to narrow my depth of field right down. I'm going to go down to 3.6, and yeah, it's just, no, I'm not happy. What a shame. It's not going to work. It's too busy. Let me have a look. Let me just try something. And again, the beauty with this is I can lock that off like so. I can spin my camera all the way around so it's facing the other way up, which is dead good with this lens. And I can put my screen down and I can have a look. No, it's not working. It's not working, I'm afraid. So that, after all that effort, is no good. So I'm going to have to try and find another tree. So after all that, I'm sorry, no photograph from here. It's just rubbish. The tree's just, it's messy. It's messy. I'm not even going to bother telling you. It's messy. It's rubbish. So I'm going to have another look, see if I can find another one. There are a few more little trees around. There's one just here. It's just amongst, it's quite busy. There's nothing that's really separated. So I will, maybe this one behind, because even though it's messy, it's sitting in a lot of green. It might just work. The flare of colour sitting in all that dark green might just work. So I'll tell you what, you wait there. You don't have to move, so I can move. Let me just see if this works. So we're going to flip my tripod round, like so. Let me just have a look before we do anything. Flip my tripod round, get a bit of height on that one. Let's have a quick look before I do anything and see if it works. We're going to zoom her back out. You know what, it might work. It might. So my battery just died, which is typical. I'm going to change my battery on the Fuji. Oh no, it's not, it's come back to life. It's just going to, it might work. I know I'm waffling because I'm using this mic and you can hear every single word I say on this one. I'm going to focus on the tree. I'm going to go right down to f2.8. I'm going to underexpose it because I want it dark in the background. And I'm going to put it on 2-second timer because the camera went off and Fuji doesn't like to leave it on. 2-second timer. And I'm still not sure. I'm still not sure. It's busy. I've got this nice tree trunk that's holding the frame in there. I've got a tree trunk outside. Lots of greens. Maybe if I darken it all down, it might work. Maybe. I'm going to spin around that side. I'm going to go down a little bit lower and try from down here. Now I'm not sure if you can still see me, but I know you can probably still hear me. So I'm going to try. No, I'm struggling. It's not quite lending itself to a shot. So unfortunately, I don't think that one's going to work. But I do quite like it there. It's funny because you look through the lens and you can see things slightly differently. So I'm going to take them anyway, because if I don't take them, I won't know when I get back. And sometimes the processing really does help. So I'm going to get the camera nice and level, focus on that, and again, just take a shot. It cost me nothing to take it home. Bright yellows, very messy and busy, but I've got 3 trunks in it, which is sort of almost quite nice. But there must be something here. There must be something that's going to jump out and really shout photograph. So yeah, anyway, that's another test for the older microphone, isn't it? As I mentioned again, I'm going to put the lens cap back on because it's drizzling. Owen's gone right down to the bottom, to the water, and Simon is up there somewhere. So I am going up that way and having a look, seeing what we can find. I can see, if that's what I think it is up there, there's a dead tree. That looks really good. So I'm going to get this over my shoulder, get my bag on my back, and head up that way. You've got a tree. I can see you up there. I've just been talking to camera and just said there's a big tree up the top there. I've just moved and I can see Simon right up at the top. So say hello, Simon.
Hello, Simon.
Yeah, he's right up the top there, so I'm going up that way. I'll be up in a minute. So, good thing with these radios. Anyway, I'll see you at the top, guys. I've no idea whether that was recording or not, but I'm knackered. So, yeah, it was... I've just come up that hill. Just come up there, quite steep, absolutely knackered. If he'd have told me it wasn't worth coming up, I wouldn't have come up. But by God, this photography lark is seriously hard work. Oh, my camera nearly fell over there. Right, so stay there with your camera, prop it against a tree. There's my tree, and no idea if it works. I've got a pathway down here, so I'm going to maybe try and use that pathway leading into it. But the problem with it is, as much as we do love a nice dead tree, twisty, gnarly things, it's really, really busy. It's got lots of little twigs on it. It's got all the dead bits around it, the bracken, the trees behind it. To separate that, to make it stand out, it needs mist. It needs fog, it needs mist, it needs diffusion of the background, and there just isn't any. I don't know, I'll try. I'll see what I can do with it. But what I have noticed, whilst coming up to this position, is there's another little tree up there. Another one just there. And they're scattered around, but they're really hard to pick off, in fairness. So that promise I made you earlier on, may not be able to pull it off. Let's have a look here. I'm not going to go much further up, definitely not. But I'm going to have a look here to see if we can make something of that. Sherman's going to show me what he's got as a composition, and we're going to play on it and work on it, see if we can get something. The problem we've got is the sky. The sky is still quite high. You can see the height of the tree there, and the sky is just above it, so it's quite hard to separate it. Maybe just take a chunk of it. Maybe just look through the middle and just take a chunk out of it and see if that works. I'll see if I can set something up. If I can, I'll put you back on, show you what we're taking, get a shot, and we'll call it a day there, I think, because it's been long enough. So let's see how we get on. It even works from back here, look, between them two big trees. Yeah,
it's framed, isn't it?
Actually, it works there.
Yeah.
I had to swap my lens over. Look, my favourite little 10 to 24's back. Came back from Fuji, £130. They've given it a year's warranty, fixed it, it's working. Touch wood, as we do. It's, I'll give that tree a hug. Hello, tree. Yeah, touch wood, it's been working all morning. Brilliant. Love that end. It's my go-to lens. I've normally always got it on the camera. We moved back slightly, and as I was talking to you and doing a bit of B-roll, I noticed that between, let me have a look and see if I can do it with my fingers, between that branch there, the trunk there, and that trunk there, that frames it again. And on the B-roll camera, it looked quite good, so I was quite impressed with it. So I thought, do you know what? Let's just move the camera back a bit further and take another shot. And the reason I've come back further, and this is hard to explain without doing it, what I'll do is I'll run some B-roll in a sec, and I'll overlay it over the top, hopefully. As you move closer, the diffraction on the wide angle lens pulls these trees out really at a really strange angle, and they need to be kind of straight. Is it perpendicular? Is that the right? Don't know. Forget that. Me trying to be clever. But yeah, it's pulling the trees out sideways, and they don't look right. The reason I've come back is because like I say, I like the idea it's framed in between. You've got this little tree and the light's just lighting it, because there is a slight gap in the trees there, and it's just lighting it up. And then you've got all the bracken. So it's a similar shot to what I'd done before, but this time it's framed in between two trees, and I think it works quite nicely. Again, it's a little bit different. And let me just see if I can show you on the camera what it's doing. So I'm going to flip you around, bear with me. I'm going to go to as wide angle as we can. Now, as I move forward, you'll see the trees are starting to splay out this way. You can see that one and that one. So the image I saw was about there. But I can't get them trees to look right. They need to be that way and that way, or that way, you see? So I can't get them right. So by moving the camera back, and this is where I'm probably going to trip over a branch, by moving the camera back up the hill, oh, where are I? By moving the camera back up the hill, you can now see that the lines are straighter. And if I zoom in, I get the same crop, the same image, but now the lines are virtually straight up. This one's still slightly bent, but on the other lens, it's quite straight. And I've got this nice little piece running across the bottom of the camera just there. The old twig really does look quite nice. So that's my shot, and yeah, enjoy this one. We found it, we've got our shot. We're here, we've got this beautiful tree. We've come up even higher, which wasn't the plan to come up so high. Owen's still right down the bottom, but I've got the perfect tree. Well, we have. So Simon spotted it from down the bottom. We come up to have a recce to have a look at it, and you know what? It's well worth the drivelling nostrils and the out of breathness to come up and get it. So I'm just putting the big lens back on. Putting the big lens back on. Put that back on there. I've got to swap my polarizer over because I know the polarization will work on this tree because it will make the background darker. So I'm going to flip that back on there like so. It's a lot easier without the lens cap on. So let's take the lens cap off. I'm struggling a bit. Right. I always keep my lens cap on. This is a tip I give. I always keep my lens cap on. If I drop this, the lens doesn't get damaged. I don't lose my polarizer off the end. So there's a little tip for you. Right. I'm going to put a 2-second timer, focus on the tree. He's repeating himself. I've heard someone say that in a video before. Right, let's have a little look through this lens and see how wow this is, because I've got a fit. Oh my goodness. How fantastic is that? This is going to probably be, no, I was going to say it was going to 10:8, but it's not going to be a 10:8. I'm going to focus on the tree. This is live now. You're going to see me doing this live time. Now, if I spin the polarizer, it makes the trees dark, and that is stunning. I've got a lead in of trees. I need to go slightly wider, don't I? Just to take it in. Yeah, there's a little bit of a messy bit on the right hand side. You've got this little tree on the left hand side. So I'm going to keep the little tree on the left. I'm going to centralize the tree. I think this tree is so nice. I'm going to centralize it. I'm at about, what size are we? We're about 60 mil. I'm going to get it level, nice and level in the camera. Sorry you're looking at me back. I did try and put you up on the tree down there just now, and it's all brambles, and I just got loads of little prickles in the back of my hand like an idiot. So this is going to be worth the wait, I promise you. Right, we've got a set of trees coming down this side. We've got a nice tree on this side, and bang in the middle, and I'm just going to make sure that I haven't clipped the top of that tree off, because that is very important. It is still in. I am going to focus on the tree because that is more important than anything, and I am going to be at f5.6 because I want the focus on that tree. Polarization, I've spun it, and I'm going to take 3 different shots. I'm going to take one with the polarizer where it is now, and I'm going to tell you why in a moment. I'm going to try and show you the reason why. 2-second timer. That's made the tree trunks on the left hand side really dark, but the right hand side a bit lighter. I'm now going to spin it round, and I'm going to introduce some light to the left hand side of all the trunks. And I'm going to put both the images up and show you the difference just because I can. And then I'm going to take a third one, which is a bit intermediate. So I've got a little bit of polarization between them all. Hang on, I'm just going to spin that again because I've just decided that I like a little bit of polarization just there. The tree's stunning on its own, and I think once this is processed, if I can crop it down to probably a 10:8 or a 4:5, whatever you want to call it, I think it'll work fantastically. I really do. Now I'm going to try just going a bit wider. I'm going to try going a bit wider and having the tree on the thirds. There's another little oak tree or pine tree, and I'm actually going to go up higher. I think I need to go a little bit higher, give it a little bit more height. And I'm ever so sorry about all this rambling and talking, but I know some of you enjoy me going on and on and on, telling you what I'm doing. So this is one of those situations. That's better. Now I'm a little bit higher. I've eliminated the sky. The tree is on the thirds. That is actually really nice. I'm not 100% sure with the tree that's on the left hand thirds, but again, please tell me. But there's a little pine tree, a little new fresh one down there on the left, and I'm going to keep it in, but I am going to focus on the distance at 5.6. I'm going to focus into the distance, and there's one other shot I'm going to take like this, and that is a vertical, just that tree all on its own, and that's all I want. I'm going to bracket this now because I can't lose any of the information in this. I need to try and keep it all in there because I think it's fantastic. Polarizer, I'm happy with that. A little bit of a sheen on the edge of the rocks. Take that. Histogram's perfectly in the middle. You've got a diagonal coming through from the hill we've just come up. Fantastic, really, really nice little shot. Really pleased we found it. And that's it really. I'm going to flip the camera around now to a vertical. I'm going to take a vertical shot of that. Simon's probably got his as well. Really pleased with that. I'm going to call it there. We're going to go down, find Owen. Once I've taken this vertical one, that is, we're going to go and find Owen, and we might go and head off to somewhere else. If we do go to the dam, I might just show you a little bit more video on the end of this. If we don't, then I don't know. I might make it a separate video, we never know. I've got that much in the bag now that God only knows how many you've seen from me this last month or so. But we've got a load more coming up. I do want to quickly mention before we go, we're having a meeting, a Christmas meeting, mulled pie, mince meat, mulled wine and mince pie meetup. It's on Boxing Day. It is going to be in Northumberland. There's a few people going. Mr. O's going to be there. Simon can't make it over Christmas, unfortunately. He's got family commitments and stuff. Most people will have family commitments. Most people will be drinking. But if you don't, and you do want to come and meet us, please come. We are going to be at St. Mary's Lighthouse for sunrise. But you don't have to be there for sunrise. You can meet us any time in the day. We're doing St. Mary's Lighthouse, Cullercoats Arch, Blythe Pier, and Charlie's Garden. That's the plan for the day. If it works out okay, I don't know. Boxing Day 2019, this Christmas, in we're only 5 weeks away. You might be watching this 3 weeks away, I don't know. But yeah, that's the plan. Please come along. I'll put details in the description below. We're on the Facebook group, Landscape Photography Adventures, as I've shown you the t-shirt earlier on. Again, description is there. Please come and join us. Now I'm going, this is long enough. Excuse me, I've got a dry throat. I need some water for all this talking. I'm off. I'm just going to say ciao, like and subscribe and all the normal stuff. Please, please share and everything else. Enjoy these last couple of images and give me your comments. I really do feed off of your comments. I'm going. Bye. Sorry, I'm rambling too much. Bye. Oh, ciao for now.